Hello YouTube, if this goes on YouTube, hi. Today we're gonna watch Sakurai go through Super Smash Bros. Videos. Like, he has the series on YouTube called Game Concepts, so we're just gonna react to it. It's 64 and Melee for now. We're starting out with 64, but I'm more interested in Melee, for obvious reasons.
星のカービィスーパーデラックスを作り終えた後、1996年、任天堂64の時代がやってきます。私はスーパーデラックスのアフターケアなどをした後、一人で 3D の勉強をしていました。
Oh yeah, this is his first 3D game
グラ
too.
フィックスのマシン、スーパーデラックスの開発でも少しは、CG ソフトに触れてはいましたが、絵だけ、それも他のアーティストが作るものでした。
Okay.
そして任天堂64ソフトとして2つの企画を立てます。一つは4人対戦型バトルロイヤル。
Dude, these are so cool. The stages, you just see like there's not actual Smash characters yet.
戦型バトルロイヤル格闘。
There's no health bars. Victor defeated a defender by ring outs.
スマブラの原型です。
Wide range attack. This looks like a Marth F smash. Earthquake. Multi jabs. Some of these are cool, man. Pierce and projectile. This looks like Superman.
一つは監視カメラをハックして済むラジコンロボットアドベンチャー。
What the hell?
その2つのプロトタイプ案を実際に作ってみることになりました。企画やグラフィックやモデルやモーションは私。プログラムは岩田さん。
Just the two goats?
サウンドがもう一人います。
Okay, one more. Thank you to Keys for sponsoring this video. Did you know 2 out of 3 guys will experience some form of male pattern baldness by the time of 35? Doesn't matter if you're rich or poor. LeBron, Slime, The Rock, it can happen to anyone. Early hair loss can happen to anyone, and the best way to stop it is to do something about it while you still have hair. With Keeps, a licensed professional will review your information online and recommend the right hair loss treatment plan for you. Then, your treatment shipped right to your door every 3 months. You have access to your doctor. You can talk to them 24/7 with any questions or concerns. Keeps offers generic versions of FDA-approved medications for hair loss, which makes it much more affordable. And yeah, prevention is key. The earlier you start doing it, the more hair you can save. It can take up to 4 to 6 months to start seeing results, so it's important to act fast. Find out what Keeps has more 5-star reviews than any of its competitors and why hundreds and thousands of men trust Keeps for their hair loss prevention medication. Hair loss stops with Keeps. To get 50% off your first order, go to keeps.com/Leffen. Title right here, link right here, or click the link in the description to receive 50% off your first order. That's keeps.com/Leffen. Anyway, back to the video. To be honest though, audio in 64, although I guess this was just for the prototype. I'm being dumb. Dragon King the fighting game. That's so cool he still has this.
必殺技と回避、アイテムなどはまだありませんが、ゲームのルールはまんまスマブラであることがわかると思います。スマッシュ攻撃や空中ジャンプ、シールド、
That was hot in air.
5方向の空中攻撃などもあります。戦場地形になっていますね。変えることもできますが。この頃のモデル構成は非常に不自由でしたが、それでもちゃんと動いていると思います。
Dude, I'd love to play that if it was possible.
機械を待つというのはですね、会社のいろんなスタッフはすでに別のソフトを作っていました。つまりスタッフがいないと。
This is why it was a collab,
関係
right?
ないスノボ風のエアライドもありました。他いくつかのソフトが作ら
It's
れてい
crazy
ま
how
した
many
が
titles are just like never developed for a long time but never actually
軒並み
released.
発売されなくなったことにより、可及的速やかにソフトを仕上げる必要がありました。
Damn. Imagine 64 is just a rush job. I mean, that's pretty obvious, but it's crazy Smash got started from a rush job.
格闘ゲームのアンチテーゼとはよく言われるし、実際私もそう言っていますが、格闘ゲームを否定しているわけではないのです。
Yeah, this is a crazy thing, like that people think that Smash is a rejection of a fighting game. Like, I think Sakurai in his brawl age just said some wild shit. He's just in his teenage phase, you know? but it's very clear. Like, as someone who's plays many fighting games, it's very clearly a fighting game. It has so many things that like transfer over. They're just visually different, and like obviously there's differences because there's platforms. You can hit people out, but there's so many similarities in how moves work, how blocking works, stuff like that.
格闘ゲームは非常に面白いです。何しろ駆け引きは最大に発揮されるジャンルでしたし、多くのメーカーが切磋琢磨されていたわけで、白熱していたのもうなずけます。ただコンボについて、これは駆け引きではないと思っていました。最初のヒットからうまく攻撃をつなげられるかという遊びの中には、対戦相手のテクニックの介在というのはありません。コンボ重視のゲームが増え、駆け引き要素などは下がっていく。わからない人や初心者にはなおさら見ているだけの、やられているだけの状況が増えてしまう。
I think this is actually true. Like, this sounds really harsh, and I know some people are mad that like, oh, I couldn't even move, rendering your opponent's skill irrelevant, and like fighting games became more combat focused. You have to remember which fighting games came out during this time. This is not Street Fighter 2. This is like, as the fighting games went on, like when we went to like Street Fighter 3 Alpha, and you got early Guilty Gears, and you got like as Tekken kept developing, it kept getting way more combo focused too. And Sakurai has previously stated that he's a big fan of KOF and Garou as well. These games at this time were very much heading towards like a breaking point, in where you kept getting more and more combos and crazier like unblockables, screwed up mix-ups, and all this stuff without really any counterplay. There was burst, and burst is a mechanic where you can break a combo, and also Killer Instinct has combo breaker. So the fact that he went for something that like creates more interactions, where you can move and you can directional influence and smash DI and recover during the punishing or the combos, it's not that weird, honestly. And I don't think his take is saying that all the fighting games are bad. He is just trying to do one approach that solves the like entry barrier to fighting games, which is, you can see when you see someone amazing play against someone bad, you just get shat on. And I actually don't think this is a problem anymore, because these days we have like matchmaking, we have MMR, we have online play. But back in the day, you were playing at arcades, you're playing IRL. So if you were better than your friend, it just felt demoralizing. And I think as fighting games went through this whole like simplifying process through Brawl, Smash 4, in the same era, Street Fighter 5 and many other games also tried to simplify. What people later eventually realized, I think, is that fighting games, no matter how simple you make them, no matter how simple you make the combos and how short they are, you can't really make a bad player beat a good player, even sometimes, without adding so much RNG and comeback mechanics that the game is just not fun to play. So now, with the Street Fighter 6, Tekken 8, Guilty Gear Strive, I've seen a big shift in how fighting game developers think, and now they're definitely moving more towards adding more complexity, more combos back in, and like removing combat mechanics, and instead focusing on better online play and matchmaking. And the same thing is actually true for Ultimate. Even though Ultimate's online is shit, it does have better like ways to find matches. Elite Smash is a thing, and you can definitely tell that Ultimate has a lot more like freedom and like intentionally has combos, whereas Smash 4, it really felt like the combos were kind of accidental, and really the engine was not made for long combos and like, complex inputs like that. And DI is a genius mechanic. Like, it's one of my favorite mechanics in video games. This is also something, like the percent makes so many possibilities. And makes match matches so dynamic.
ゲームを考えたのは1996年ですが、この頃は格闘ゲームのコマンド入力がやたらと複雑化していたというのもあります。中にはすんごいコマンド入力もあります。そこでパッドの方向プラスボタンでシンプルに直感的に操作できるものを目指しました。なお、スマッシュ入力、つまり弾き という概念が生まれています。素早く倒すとより強く攻撃したりジャンプできるという。
I'm not sure if I think smashes are better than just having another button though. I really wonder if I think that just having tilt be another button and smashes be another button, like jabs plus tilts be one button and then smashes be another button is actually better though. But I think at the time there was just less buttons on a controller and they couldn't really change it. Like even on the GameCube you couldn't really add. I suppose you could put it on the Y button and only have one jump button. But it made sense at the time, I feel like, where there was just less buttons that worked on a controller for there to be less attacks. And obviously, it is simple. And like maybe some people think it's more intuitive that you press hard and then A at the same time. But I think these days, I think most people just realize that it's better to have hard, like heavy attacks on one and light attacks on one, like two separate buttons, rather than having tilt and smash be on the same button but different speeds and like different strength of the analog.
無段階の振動に目が行きがちですが、私は入力が完成する時間に目をつけました。なお、スマブラといえば任天堂のさまざまなキャラクターが出ることが売りの一つですが、これは企画書上には書いておらず、後から交渉することになります。コンシューマーの格闘ゲームにおいて難しい点の一つに主役がいきなりいっぱいいるという要素があります。例えばゼルダの伝説ならリンクという主人公がいて、その他のサブキャラクターや敵がいる。候補上そういったことを順番に展開していけばイメージが伝わるのですが、格闘ゲームの場合いきなり主人公が8人とか12人とかいるわけです。
Rosters are hard to make.
知らない人がいきなり12人とかいても親しみや取っかかりを持ちにくいですよね。アーケードの格闘ゲームならとりあえずプレイしてみることは可能だし、他の人がプレイしているのも見ているわけだから問題解決できます。
I think this problem is why most fighting games these days are either established IPs like Street Fighter, Tekken, King of Fighters, or they're like an anime fighting game or stuff like that where you, or Nickelodeon or multiverses where you take established characters and put them against each other. I think in general it just works better. There's so many IPs that could be fighting games. So I think it actually works out.
少なくともどちらかを応援しているなりすればそのうち感情移入もできようものです。だけど何にも知らない、新入生キャラクターがいきなりずらっと並んでいる状況については客観視してちゃんと取り組むべきだと思いました。結果として任天堂の人気キャラクターをお借りすることになりました。この最初のイメージには、結局最後まで悩まされることになります。スマブラが完成した時、同じ任天堂内外でも、ゲームをよくプレイする開発関連の方々などは喜んで遊んでくれたのですが、営業や問屋などからは任天堂のキャラクターが殴り合いなんてとんでもないと。
I feel like this has been a theme throughout Smash that like it feels like Sakurai's fighting against the people that don't like Nintendo characters beating others up and it being an esport and yeah, just tournaments in general.
反応を起こされたものです。まあ遊んでないうちからですけどね。また従来の格闘ゲームが頭に染みついている人にも浸透が難しかったです。駆け引きの種類が全く違うので偏見をなかなか拭えません。それを補うためスマブラ券などを制作していたりもします。結局発売してからこれは面白いと評判。
Oh yeah, this is where they actually showed L canceling and DI, right? Like I think this was online, like a really shitty website. I've been on it. I don't know if it's still up. And they actually like it shows that L canceling is not a mistake. Like it's very clear intentional. Wave dashing is like a bit closer to a quote-unquote glitch, but it's actually just an unintended thing. Might make a video on L canceling and like because it's kind of a controversial mechanic at some point. If people are interested, let me know in the comments.
いや、なお私にとっては初めての声優さん起用タイトルでもあります。カービィの公式声もここで決まりました。
Oh shit! Yeah, I didn't think about that. The Kirby didn't have a voice.
いかようにも設定できる柔軟性を持っています。アイテムはありあり、ステージランダムの4人担当でアバウトに遊んでもよいし、アイテムなしワンオンワンでガチガチに遊んでもよいと。好きなところだけ好きなように遊ぶという方針は初代にしてある程度確立できていると思います。はい、というわけで次の企画コンセプトのカテゴリーは大乱闘スマッシュブラザーズデラックスのお話です。
Dude, these videos are so interesting. This video on his cat too. Very cute cat. Alright, here we go.
今までの企画コンセプトの回をご覧いただければ、私のゲームの企画はロジカルに考案されているということがよくわかると思います。大体のものが課題があり、それを解決するという企画になっている。しかし、スマブラデラックスのコンセプトは非常にシンプルです。
Simple? Seeing how short it is between 64 and Melee, like, it will never feel like stop making me surprised. It's like how, like, 64 is a groundbreaking game. It established the genre. Like every platform fighter came from 64 in some part. But the step from 64 to Melee and the fact that Melee released so few years after, it's like almost 2 years, not even. It's just absurd. Like it is so crazy how they took this like 64 and then just made it like one of the best games ever. An almost flawless game. Okay, not flawless, but like for its time, considering there was no patches and nothing, it's an extremely well-made game, and it was developed in 13 months. I think people say that it's like 4 different development teams who were working separately on it, and like for how consistent and how good it feels to play without any real performance issues outside of like, you know, 4 ICs on Fountain and stuff like that. Like it's truly insane. When you look at the other games that like that just came out on release for Nintendo GameCube, it doesn't even compare. And if you look at any game from 2001, like it's just such a big difference. Banger. Yeah. No, it really is like 64, but like Vision fully. Like the ideal 64, what they wanted to do.
完成したスマブラデラックスと初代スマブラを比較するとよくわかると思うのですが、ファイター、ステージ、グラフィック、エフェクト、モーション、サウンド、ボリューム、プレイ感覚、アイテム、おまけなどが全てパワーアップしています。これは任天堂64しか知らない当時の人の目には衝撃的に映ったことと思います。任天堂64はマシン性質的にも開発環境的にもかなり厳しいものがありました。何しろ初代スマブラの場合1ファイターが300ポリゴンぐらい、3人以上対戦時には200ポリゴンぐらいになります。
Oh really? I didn't even know that the graphics get worse in
よくわからない単位だって。まあ海底用の、格闘的なゲームの中ではおそらく最低に近い非常に厳しい水準でしょうね。そりゃサムスの足とか三角になりますね。
Well, that's how every game looked
ファ
at
イ
the
ター
time,
に貼り
though.
付けるテクスチャーに至っては 64×64 ドットとか 32×32 ドットぐらいを使っていました。小さい。スマブラデラックスでは、ゲームキューブが使われたため性能がぐーんとアップしました。そして64よりはゲームもはるかに作りやすいです。
Yeah, the melee graphics and animations are
私
insane.
としては初めての光ディスクによる開発になります。これにより遅れながらストリーミング再生、つまり生音収録による音楽が使えるようになります。
Melee music
初めてスト
absolutely
リーミング
insanely
再
good
生を起
too.
用するにあたり、オーケストラを数曲に採用しています。
I don't know if I like melee or brawl music more though. Brawl music is also
の導入
insane.
も初ですね。全く休みがなかったため、正月休みを返上して絵コンテを書いていました。
Dude, the fact that Sakurai drew this and he developed the game and he took his New Year's holiday off, like, I don't know if people understand, if you're young now, how much like the melee cutscene, how much it like showed the progression of the medium, like games in general, when it was like revealed at E3. It's insane how much better everything looked and how like that intro cutscene is just fire in general. Like it shows everything. It's dynamic. It plays with the music well. Like it's actually so good.
フィギュアというものがあります。ゲーム内で
Showing
採
Daisy
用で
with
き
the
るキャ
third
ラクタ
eye.
ーにはこの制作にはクリーチャーズさんなど本制作チーム外の方々にもご協力いただいてい
Yeah,
ま
there are
す。
definitely more development
多
studios
大な
than
労力を
regular.
かけてまで作る価値があるのかという自問自答や他の人からの問いはいつもあります。が、ゲームに限らず多くの作品は他にないということでできている必要があると考えています。その最大の特徴をフルに生かすべく力を入れて取り組みました。
Feels like he's saying that he put like extra effort into Melee, that it felt a little special, and I can see that considering it was like 13 months and it's such a big step up.
スマブラデラックスが発表あるいは発売される頃には世界の期待も膨らんでいました。それに十分に応えられるものにはなったと思うのですが、いかがでしょうか。
It lived up to the high expectations and surpassed those. It was okay.
はい、次の企画コンセプトのカテゴリー
Yeah,
は
not something I'd play for 21 years or anything, you know? It's okay. It's okay. I could have done better, you know? Thank you so much, Sakurai. I will always, like, I'm not the biggest fan of the follow-ups, although I did love Brawl 2, especially when it released, but like, Sakurai could only ever have released Melee, and he'd still be one of the best video game developers, and definitely one of the most impactful video game developers for me ever. Yeah, I mean, like, it wasn't really that much about the game, because, again, the concept of the Melee is simple. It is 64 with way more shit and just everything done to the extreme. I don't think he really wanted to talk about, like, how fast it is and stuff like that. He did in his tweet mention that, like, that it being fast was just a like side effect basically of the development. Oh no, in the case of Super Smash Bros. Melee, the concept was quite simple. A speedier pace was merely one of its results. So I think he just felt like 64 was a little slow. At least mentioned DI. DI is in 64 though, isn't it? No wait, it's only Smash DI. Well, the concept's there, but it's like what they wanted to do, but better. Guilty Gear presentation is really soon, right?